All right, so this is a suggestion via a donation. The name of the video is 5 minutes ago. Joe Rogan confronts Oprah for, let's say, taking Maui people's money. Let's translate that for the algorithm. Let's check it out. Let's see where this takes us, guys.
This has been one of the big failures around the aftermath of the wildfire on Maui, is this total vacuum of information from government officials to the people.
At the amount of money that was accidentally sent to Ukraine, like they oversent $6 billion. And then I said, well, how much would it cost to rebuild every house in the Maui fire? And it's $5 billion, $5 billion something. Like
yeah, but instead the U.S. government gave the people of Maui $700 per household. Guys, imagine $700 per household, $6 million to Ukraine, $6 billion accidentally to Ukraine.
That's just like accidental money. But there's no talk of doing that. There's no talk of doing that.
In that vacuum, obviously people have all kinds of ideas or theories or this or that, but people were left without any kind of communication from anyone in a position of authority to provide help for days and weeks.
Now, this woman has worked in fundraising for years, so she actually went through the receipts. So she's going to break down what this fund actually is. We're not saying she's not donating money. What I'm saying is she's a billionaire. Okay. Period. Don't come. I'm tell you right now. Don't come in here defending Oprah. Do not come in here defending.
In the most.
What did you even just say? Yes, I think this woman was accusing her of not donating her own money, but her and I think The Rock started out the fund by putting $10 million of their own money into it. You pointing out that she's a billionaire doesn't really mean anything. It just means that you think that $10 million wasn't enough money for her to donate. That's what you're really saying, I think. Right? But I kind of wish we saw more of that video so I can kind of grasp the overall point of this, of all of this.
I'll tell you right now, don't come in here defending Oprah. Do not come in here defending.
In the most recent episode of the Joe Rogan Experience, our candid podcast host, Joe Rogan, made some headlines by dropping a surprising bombshell. He suggested that media mogul Oprah Winfrey might be involved in shady land deals. Specifically, she's been eyeing properties owned by individuals caught up in various controversies. The Maui fires have left a community in turmoil, with many children affected by the tragedy and nowhere to be found. And the connection to the ongoing concerns surrounding Oprah Winfrey is undoubtedly cause for concern. Joe Rogan and several other commendable celebrities have tried to warn us time and time again about how these Hollywood elites would do anything to keep filling their well of riches. And once again, Oprah is suspected of being involved in this terrible incident. Could she be profiting from these disasters or even possibly behind them? While these claims are certainly controversial, let's examine the allegations and evidence that have fueled this discussion. First, it's essential to understand the context, especially regarding Oprah's real estate investments in Hawaii. Did you know that Oprah Winfrey has been snagging Maui land like it's the latest bestseller? She started with a whopping 520-acre piece, then added another 330 acres. Oprah is known to own multiple properties in the region, and some critics argue that these purchases might allow her to benefit financially from such disasters. It's a fact that property values often rise after tragedies, making this a significant point of contention. One tweet, for instance, raised the question of whether Oprah would take advantage of the Maui fires to purchase more land.
Okay, guys, really quickly, anyone who has any amount of money is going to take advantage of it. It has nothing to do with Oprah, I would say, specifically. Oprah is apparently, if she's there and she's looking to buy land and she's already purchased a lot of land, of course she's going to buy more. Right now, it's basically cheap now. I mean, I get it. It's a terrible thing, but I think anyone with any, any money in a bank would be intelligent to do that, because we all know the property value in Hawaii is absolutely crazy. Is that what we're getting at here? Right? I'm just trying to still kind of grasp it. The video kind of feels like it's all over the place right now a little bit. But let's continue.
The tweet mentioned that the flames had untouched her existing property and acres in Maui. Such claims have led some to speculate whether Oprah might have insider information or involvement in the incidents. To provide context,
guys, where and how did this fire start? I'm going to research
whether Oprah might have insider information or involvement in the incidents. To To provide context, it's worth noting that in 2023, Oprah acquired a substantial 2,000-acre tract of land on the island, which has only added to the intrigue. The speculation extends to conspiracy theories suggesting that influential figures, including Oprah, may have deliberately sparked the fires to acquire valuable Maui land, potentially displacing indigenous communities. These claims are fueled by observations that the fires disproportionately affected Maui's working-class areas while sparing more affluent properties. Some even suggest that the fires were strategically ignited to drive down property prices, making it easier for wealthy individuals or organizations to acquire land at reduced rates. Interestingly, during this land buying spree, a sudden fire mysteriously wiped out nearby homes while leaving her vast properties unscathed. Quite the coincidence, don't you think? The connections, acquisitions, and timing make for some intriguing food for thought. This is definitely a topic worth exploring.
Guys, really quickly, I'm gonna give you guys some information, some quick research here. Like super quick, 2-minute research, checked multiple sources. Guys, so apparently the electrical company there in Maui already, for the most part, they already took blame for this, guys, okay? And if you know anything kind of about how the regular, normal people live, the power lines are going to be extremely close to your house, right? Like if you live in the north, specifically in North America, you may even have a sidewalk in front of your house, and then the electrical lines are right in front of your house on your property. If you're already saying that she has 800, she bought 500, then bought another 300, then bought 2,000 acres, I can tell you right now that her property is probably going to be untouched. And the reason why it's going to be untouched is because the power lines are not going to run straight up to the house in the same manner that they would run up to the average person's house that lives in like a subdivision. I can guarantee you, she does not live in a subdivision, and the main house on her property most likely is nowhere near the main overall power lines, right? So if you look to buy your own or build your own house, you're probably going to do a lot of things interestingly with electrical stuff, guys. And a lot of these people, specifically like super famous people, are going to probably try to run, they're going to try to go off the grid for the most part, right? And so if they were not on the grid, then they have no connection to the electrical company that actually started the actual fires, right? And I'm going to go ahead and guess she's probably running solar because you're in Hawaii with a whole lot of sun. Why are you not running solar? And if you have the money for it, solar is probably the way to go. She probably has a whole solar farm for, basically feeding electricity to her house. I'm not trying to take up for her here, but I'm just trying to understand the actual issue. The electrical company blatantly says the Hawaiian electrical power lines were the issue. So the company themselves took blame. Those were the issues. Oprah's property not being touched has more to do with the fact that she has so much land. So why would she build it close to anyone else, if that makes any sense? But all right, let's go.
Further, Joe Rogan claims his information is completely legit. Rogan delivered this information with quite a passion, stating that Oprah has been quietly acquiring lands from individuals who have found themselves in unfortunate circumstances.
Yeah, look, perfect example, guys. Look at these electrical wires, and look at how close they are to people's houses that were burned. Right now, these people most likely are not going to rebuild their houses here. They're probably not. Okay, but yet you still own that land. Absolutely, if you own that house, you own that land, that plot of land. Now, what's going to happen is you're going to most likely go to the mainland, and you're going to sell your plot of land. And you're going to sell it at a loss because obviously the house isn't there. So you're just selling the piece of land. So yeah, unfortunately, it's an amazing real estate opportunity right here, right? You could buy land for pennies on a dollar because the house isn't there. You're literally just buying a plot of land, an empty plot of land. Then obviously a lot of people are going to make money from this because what they're going to do, these big companies are going to come here, and they're going to buy up all this burnt land with all the houses on it, right, that are burnt up. They're going to clear the land and build a resort. That's what they're going to do. And if you think that they're going to have the electrical wires this close to their building, guys, look at every single hotel. Guys, look at any mansion that you generally see. They're not close to these wires, guys. if the electrical company is saying that these power lines were the issue. But all right, let's get it.
The big question on everyone's mind, what's her motive? It's all rather peculiar and deeply problematic. These allegations have set off a whirlwind of reactions online. Fans of Oprah have rushed to her defense, dismissing Rogan's claims as baseless. However, given the gravity of these allegations, there's also a growing call for a comprehensive investigation into the matter. The seriousness of these claims is not to be taken lightly. Following the startling claims made by Joe Rogan on the Joe Rogan Experience regarding Oprah Winfrey's alleged land dealings, Oprah's team has issued an official statement addressing the matter. The statement begins with deep sadness and disappointment in the baseless accusations against Ms. Winfrey. It emphasizes Oprah's lifelong commitment to uplifting others and argues that such unfounded claims only distract from the real issues at hand. The statement elaborates that the alleged land purchases are not only inaccurate, but also a significant misrepresentation of Ms. Winfrey's character and her long-standing professional and personal values. They urge both the media and the public to critically examine the sources of such claims and encourage responsible and fact-based reporting. Many have rallied around Oprah in the entertainment industry, highlighting her years of philanthropy and service. However, some have voiced concerns about the growing spread of unverified information, particularly in the age of social media and digital communication. As of now, Joe Rogan's team has not issued a response to Oprah's statement, and the situation remains under scrutiny, with many eagerly awaiting further clarifications from both parties. Oprah Winfrey claimed to have donated $10 million to assist the victims of the Maui wildfires. However, recent revelations have cast doubts on the accuracy of her claims. Oprah and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson initially announced a $5 million project called the People's Fund of Maui. This declaration seemed at odds with Oprah's statement that she was committing $10 million to the cause. To clarify the situation, Oprah stated that the organization was established to accept contributions to provide financial independence to individuals affected by the wildfires. However, this explanation did not address half of the promised $10 million. Complicating matters further, Dwayne Johnson requested additional donations, suggesting that the initial $5 million had mostly served as seed money for their project. This development raises the question of why the general public is encouraged to donate when a significant gift has already been made. The core issue is that Oprah and The Rock's $5 million donation appears more focused on attracting further contributions, a strategy akin to traditional company startups.
We've been meeting with community leaders, our kapuna, for the past couple of weeks.
This raises doubts about whether the entire $10 million was genuinely intended for immediate assistance to the victims. Particularly concerning is that the entertainment industry
I think it was.
Foundation, a nonprofit organization, is tasked with managing the Maui Fund. To put this in perspective, the organization's top executives, including its president, CEO, and CFO, receive hefty yearly salaries. 13 of its leaders collectively earn $3.2 million annually, while other employees have an average salary of $64,527. As revelations continue to emerge, concerns about Oprah and The Rock's true intentions are growing.
In this time of need, you want to take care of the greatest need of the people, and that's giving them money.
Reports indicate that the EIF-managed fund has only distributed approximately $1,200 to those affected. The suggestion for ongoing public contributions raises further questions, raising the possibility that the prominently mentioned $10 million may have served more as initial startup capital for the fund than direct aid to the fire victims. In the latest episode of the Joe Rogan Experience, host Joe Rogan had a candid conversation with former Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard. They delved into a pressing issue that has captured the attention of Maui residents. These two prominent figures raised allegations that the local population is facing a systematic displacement from their ancestral lands, courtesy of covert government initiatives and some Hollywood elites. Rogan, a man known for his no-nonsense approach, didn't mince words. He expressed his deep concern about how frequently we hear stories of the little guy being crushed by bureaucratic machinery. The residents of Maui...
I think that's overall a common trend with Joe Rogan. I definitely think that he pushes that overall narrative. It's a correct narrative.
They have a rich history tied to that land, crushed by bureaucratic machinery. The residents of Maui have a rich history tied to that land, and he finds it deeply troubling to see them being forced out without clear justification.
Are they being forced out? They're being, unfortunately, I wouldn't call this well, I guess it is kind of forced out, but they're being forced out by a natural disaster, right? Well, I guess it's not even really a natural disaster. The fire started from an electrical company that claimed fault. So they, unfortunately, the island got destroyed by a wildfire. And they are being pushed out because of that very specific issue.
Bard, whose roots are deeply intertwined with the Hawaiian archipelago, shared her perspective. She emphasized that she has spoken with families who have lived in Maui for generations, and their connection to the land goes beyond the legal. It's deeply spiritual.
Fortunately, this morning we woke up to more
And who is this person?
tragic news of the wildfires on Maui.
If these allegations turn out to be true, she views it as a gross injustice, not just from a legal standpoint, but also morally. Joe Rogan echoed these sentiments, questioning the audacity of anyone attempting to seize the homes of Hawaiians, particularly when they are...
It's going to happen. And we're not seeing. How about this, guys? It's absolutely going to happen, but it has nothing to do with being disrespectful, right? And again, just coming from like a business, like corporate mindset here, guys. These people are not going to want to go back to that land. If they do, there's going to be nothing there, right? They're going to be alone there, like on their very specific plot of land next to the family to the right that left completely. And they're ready to sell that plot of land. That's what's happening here. Trust me when I say it. You're going to have some holdouts that are going to stay there absolutely and attempt to rebuild on what they have. Absolutely respectable and commendable. But the majority are going to sell and leave. Right? But I understand the tie to the land and all these things. I get that, but I think that's over. Unfortunately, not trying to be callous here, but that's over, bro.
at their most vulnerable. The looming possibility of the state taking their ancestral properties is deeply unsettling for the people of Maui, especially in a place like Lahaina. Properties is deeply unsettling. The looming possibility of the state taking their ancestral properties is deeply unsettling for the people of Maui.
Guys, it happened in Pennsylvania maybe 50 years ago in a town called Centralia. They made a movie and a video game about this town called Silent Hill. Right, it's a town that is burning and will be burning for a very long time going forward. The government came in, bought up all their stuff, and said, listen, I'll buy your house for this amount of money just to tear it down. I'm just tearing it down. I'm giving you this money so you can go buy in a neighboring town if you want, but this has to go. It is no longer safe for humans to live in a place that the ground is burning. Right? It was like a coal mine, and that coal mine caught on fire, and it has been burning for like 50 years. Guys, that's what happens for the sake of safety. It has to go. And now this area is obviously scorched earth. Like, what is going to come up from the ground now, right? Where you are, where this happened, you're going to have to leave. And the government, if the state is offering you money for it, take it, because this is the only time you're going to get it, unless a gigantic company comes in and basically turns it into a parking lot. Again, not trying to be callous, but that's basically what's going to happen, guys. It's going to have to happen. The only way for that land to be used now is if you sell it. But all right, let's get it.
Especially in a place like Lahaina. What adds to the situation's complexity is that it's not solely the government involved in these actions. Okay. Wealthy real estate speculators, elites, and developers have also entered the picture, making tempting bids for the burned out land.
What I tell you, that's it. I'm telling you, like, if I was looking to buy in this area, which I am not, right? But if I was looking to buy land in this area, I'd probably be like, look, it's burnt. You have rubble on it. Let me give you $15,000 an acre. Oh, you have half an acre? No problem. I said $15,000 an acre, right? And I would buy your land for $7.75, basically. And then I would go to your neighbor and say, I'm gonna give you $15,000 per acre. You have 0.34, let's say. No problem. I give you that cut, right? And the same thing is gonna go. I'll go around the entire neighborhood and buy up that entire gigantic plot of land, right? If I was if I was someone who wanted land in this region, this is what I would do. I don't though, right? But there are going to be a lot of companies who absolutely will take it and build a resort. I'm telling you, I promise you, this is what's going to happen here. All right, let's go.
This further underscores the gravity of the situation and the various interests at play. A video from a Maui County Council meeting went viral. In it, a resident referred to as 80 expressed her frustrations about the delayed fire response and hinted at possible ulterior motives from wealthy donors. Her comments illuminated the ongoing struggles of the Maui community, including missing persons and thousands seeking temporary shelter. While Oprah's followers count may have surged, there's a growing online sentiment suggesting her relief efforts are more PR strategy than genuine altruism. Social media platforms like TikTok have become hotbeds for theories, some of which suggest that influential figures like Oprah may have had a role in the fires to acquire valuable land. The theory also suggests that the fires were intentionally set to pave the way for transforming Maui into a technologically advanced AI-driven smart city. This idea gained traction due to a scientific conference held in Maui earlier in the year, where the concept of 15-minute cities was discussed. Joe Rogan himself has adopted a hands-on approach to aiding people in need in the wake of the recent catastrophes that struck Maui, expressing an out-of-character fury and anger. In a series of films posted to his social media, Rogan can be seen actively helping to rebuild houses for those affected by the recent natural catastrophe in Maui. In addition to giving money to the cause, Rogan is shown laboring with the neighborhood's residents, pounding nails, lifting beams, and other tasks he says, "I'm here, and I'm going to do whatever I can to help." People, this is also mind-boggling. We don't know for sure what's real and what's not, but the mere thought of exploiting the vulnerable people of Hawaii is simply unacceptable. These people have lost their families, their homes, and their children, and to think of monetizing their losses is a horrible thing to do. Let us know what you think of these latest allegations. Are you Team Joe or Team Oprah?
Oh, guys, wait a second. Are their losses being monetized? They're going to be, right? Obviously, they're going to be. They're going to have to be, because if not, it's just going to be blank, right? I mean, we don't need that. Either that or sell to the state, basically. But guys, so really quickly, all right, as we were watching this video, I had to do some research here, guys, right? And it's interesting. It's completely interesting. This is all nonsense. I'm almost positive. I don't think Joe Rogan had anything to do with Oprah. I don't think he said anything about Oprah. I get that there's going to be a lot of people who are out here like, yeah, this is exactly what's happening, guys. But I am not sure that that's a factual statement, guys. But all right, listen. Wow. Listen, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day and enjoy your day thoroughly.